I'm literally sitting here filming a couple of videos. I just filmed like a few minutes ago the no buy update. So I always find it ironic when I have the no buy and then the favorites video because they kind of are at odds with each other. However, most of what's on this list is stuff that's either not a purchase or not a new purchase, so I don't feel too bad about it. Cognitive dissonance, my man. Hi everyone, today I am going over my favorite things for the past quarter, which is July, August, September of 2023, and the things that I loved and the things I've been enjoying. I do these once a quarter or so to kind of catch you up on things that I'm loving because that's what we do. And this is kind of my enabling space. Even though I'm on a year-long no-buy, even though I love to talk about consumerism, I do make these videos because consumerism to me and like buying stuff and being thoughtful about what you buy also means really enjoying and making sure that the stuff you are bringing into your life is enjoyable for you so that it's worth the cost, both like financially and environmentally, whatever. So that's my story and I'm sticking to it. Let me know in the comments one of your favorite things from the last quarter or any of these things that you might be interested in checking out. We're gonna start with something that's not a thing, it's a place. I love water slides. I grew up in the Central Valley of California. If you grew up anywhere in that like Tracy, Manteca, Stockton, Lodi, even maybe Fresno, Modesto, that kind of area, Central Valley, you are probably familiar with Oakwood Lake Resort, the Manteca water slides. So much fun, but also not one of those like water slides places that feels super corporate. Like it feels very like this is our town water slides. This is our small town water slides. This is our local water slides. We used to go there all the time as a kid and I fucking loved it. And then when I was pregnant with Sunny, because I'm a great mom, my ex and my sisters and I went to Oakwood. I was very, very lightly pregnant with Sunny and I really wanted to go to the water slides. So we went, my ex had never been there before and we had a great time, but we found out that that was the last summer it was going to be open because they were going to tear it down and build a subdivision. Fuck you, by the way, because that sucks. That was a great place. Since then, I had never gone to a water slide, mostly because I was broke, I had small kids, then we broke up, then I had Jesse, and like aside from the fact that I just never had the time or the money, and all of the water slides that were around me where I lived in Napa were more like corporate, like Six Flags, things like that. My kidneys got bigger, and so I wasn't sure if it was gonna be safe for me to go to the water slides. Note that I'm worried about my kidneys, but I wasn't worried about being pregnant, but we'll worry about that a different time. Anyway, my sister was coming to town this summer, and I had heard that there's a really huge, really awesome water park here in the Denver Metro that is not owned by corporate like people. It's owned by the Parks and Rec. It's called Water World in Colorado, not like Water World USA. And so we decided to go. We got a cabana because we were civilized business people. We were able to relax at the cabana, have a great, it was so much fun. We barely went on anything either. We went on a few, but like we didn't like do, we had so much fun though. Oh my God. And the cabana we had was right on the wave pool and it was just, it was rad and I loved it. And Jesse was worried I was gonna hurt myself, but I was only on the medium thrill rides. We didn't go on the high thrill rides. We went on the medium thrill rides and it was so worth it. So much fun. I'm gonna make it an annual summer thing. Oh my God. Water World here in Colorado, chef's kiss. Was my new favorite place besides Oakwood Lake? Well, Oakwood will always have this special place in my heart, but I definitely think that I can make that place a family favorite from now on. I have 3 shows to talk about because I have not been feeling good. So, you know, I've spent most of the summer off and on not feeling good because of dialysis. I'm a dialysis patient, if you did not know that. And I wound up having plenty of time, both on dialysis and when I was laying down, to both watch some shows I hadn't watched yet and catch up on some shows with new seasons. So there are 3 of them that I want to talk about. The first one, I'll go in order of when I watch them. The first one is The Righteous Gemstones. I had that on my list. I had watched the first episode, but I hadn't gotten a chance to watch the rest of it. And season 3 came out. And so season 3 came out like June, July, but I spent the majority of time watching the first 2 seasons and then watching the 3rd season. Oh my God. So good. It's so funny. The basic plot of The Righteous Gemstones is it is about a evangelical, like televangelist kind of mega church family. John Goodman is the patriarch. Eli Gemstone. And then he has 3 kids who are very dysfunctional and are all kind of modeled on different kind of archetypes of televangelism. You've got this oldest son, Jesse, who is played by Danny McBride, who is also the showrunner. I fucking love Danny McBride. I think he is goddamn hilarious, and he is just amazing on The Righteous Gemstones. And then you have his sister, Judy Gemstone, who says the most outlandishly awful things all of the time. And then you have Kelvin, who's played by Adam Devine, who also is on, I think, is it Workaholics? I never watched it, but I know he's on, like, he has a show he was on, but he was also on Pitch Perfect and played Bumper. And he's basically like the Hillsong youth preacher kind of guy. Oh, so funny. And they have great guest stars. The 3rd season's guest stars are Steve Zahn and Kristen Johnson. Oh my God. It's just such a great show. So funny. It makes so much fun of that whole megachurch situation without making fun of people who are Christian. Like, it walks that line really well of satirizing the idea of like a megachurch without like being mean. Kind of like the movie Saved with Mandy Moore, which is also one of my favorite movies. You know, I'm not an evangelical Christian, but I also, you know, there is something to be said for being able to watch something that is so funny, so irreverent, so just dirty, and yet is still not like a dick to people. So I really appreciate that. Just know that Danny McBride makes it his mission to hang as much dong as, not himself, but like the other male actors. There is a lot of fucking dong in this series and a lot of really, really, really irreverently dirty jokes. So if that's not your thing, maybe don't watch that. But if it is, you're welcome. The second show is one that has been out for a while that everybody has talked about loving, and I just hadn't had the chance to watch it, and that is The Haunting of Hill House on Netflix, Mike Flanagan series. I watched Midnight Mass. Fucking loved the shit out of Midnight Mass. I've seen some of Mike Flanagan's movies. I really love what he did with Dr. Sleep. And I had heard that The Haunting of Hill House is just excellent, but I hadn't had a chance to watch it yet. And then I started watching it and I binged it over 2 days. I think the reason I really wanted to watch it was because The Fall of the House of Usher is coming out in, I think by the time you see this video, it's just about out. I am really excited about that because I love Edgar Allan Poe, but I also recognize that the way that Mike Flanagan seems to do these shows is he takes like inspiration from the source material and kind of melds it together into a new story with a lot of his same returning cast members, and The Haunting of Hill House is no exception to that. Very, very well done. Very, very well cast. I don't even know how to describe how good this show is. If you are into horror, or like psychological horror, hauntings kind of horror, if you love good like family drama, 10 out of 10 recommend The Haunting of Hill House. Just spooky and atmospheric, but also scary, deals with addiction and like family trauma and how grief can like fuck a family up. And so it was so layered, so well done. I am very excited. You will probably see if it's done well. I would guarantee you that The Fall of the House of Usher will probably wind up on my next favorites video. And then finally, and this one should be no surprise if you know me, the 3rd season of The Wheel of Time literally wrapped last night as I'm filming this. I am so happy with this show. Now, I am a longtime book fan. I have been reading these books since I was a teenager. And it was the same with Game of Thrones, A Song of Ice and Fire series. The difference here is that this series is finished, but it is like 14 fucking books, and they have to cram a lot in, so they have to make a lot of changes. And in the first season, that was really obvious to book readers, and probably to show watchers as well. Between COVID hitting while they were in the middle of filming, and losing one of their actors to some mental health problems, one of their main actors towards the end of the series, having to rewrite everything for season 2. The first season was great, but it was also uneven. The second season, they have to make a lot of changes in order to get everybody into place for the 3rd season, which is going to be based on one of the best books in the series. They have a bunch of new actors this season. The new actor playing Matt. They have Elaine showing up, Lanfear showing up. Just, you don't know who any of these people are if you haven't been watching the show. Suffice it to say, the acting in this show is outstanding. The villains are even better than they are in the books. All of the villains are better than they are in the books. It's just, it's fantasy, so if you like high fantasy, you'll probably like this show. And there's a lot of tropes in it that you might recognize and think, well, that's overplayed, but this came before a lot of them. But also, it's just, it's so much fun to watch. And I've been watching it with Sunny and Jesse. RJ's he's been doing his own thing this time around, but we watch it with Sunny and Jesse. Neither of them have read the books. They've been really enjoying it. I've been really enjoying it. Season finale had Sunny ugly crying. We were all crying. Sunny was ugly crying. It was just so worth it, and I am so satisfied. I'm so bummed that it went so fast, and we have to wait for probably several more months before we can even get close to a premiere for season. Probably 2 years. God, I hope not. Maybe a year. Who knows? Till season 3. But anyway, Wheel of Time. Amazon Prime. Oh, and I think I said The Haunting of Hill House is on Netflix. I have 2 kind of beauty items that have really surged. I don't even remember if I've talked about one of them before, but I'm going to talk about it again. The first is my Necessaire Eucalyptus Deodorant Gel. It is a deodorant only. It does not have antiperspirant, and that was what I was looking for because, you know, with kidney disease and being in kidney failure, reducing a little bit of aluminum, even though I know my doctor said you don't really need to, but I felt like giving it a shot to see if I could do that and still be happy, and I am totally happy with it. I'm not a super sweaty person to begin with, and if I'm having a very sweaty day, it doesn't do shit because it doesn't have antiperspirant in it, but it makes me smell better, and that's the thing I care about. The thing I did not mention in my no-buy because I forgot to is that last month I did attempt to try a different deodorant only. I think it was the La Vanilla version, and I don't remember if I talked about it last month or the month before, or maybe I didn't, but I bought that and then I returned it because I like had a really terrible like underarm rash, like hot, red, awful. Would not, even after I stopped using it, took about a week to go away. So I'm like, fuck that, went back. I'm totally happy with it. It is pricey, it's $15, but I have found that it has worked really well for me. And so I'm just gonna stick with it for right now until my body chemistry changes and it's weird again, which happens to me often. So who knows? The other thing I got for beauty was a moisturizer from Cetaphil. It is the Cetaphil moisturizing cream for very dry to dry sensitive skin. And the reason I got this one in the tub specifically is that my nephrologist recommended it to me. One of the nephrologists at the dialysis center recommended this to me. I have been struggling so hard with dry skin, with rashes all around my dialysis access where my buttonholes are. I have to put lidocaine. I actually have lidocaine on there right now underneath my sweater and a non-occlusive bandage because I'm going to be dialyzing after I film today. But between the adhesives from the tapes and from the bandages, sensitive to those give me rashes. I get rashes from the ChloroPrep, which is what we use to clean up. I really don't want to use iodine, so I'm just living with it. And then the skin there is so dry, it's almost like alligator skin. And all of this combined, plus I'm sensitive to the saline during dialysis, means that this part of my arm is like a fucking bee's hive of itchiness, and it sucks. And when I was at one of my appointments, I couldn't stop scratching, and my doctors were like, dude, she recommended this in the tub specifically because the ones that are in the tub have less alcohol in them because they don't need to go through a pump. And I use like the Jergens on my legs and on my body usually, and that's totally fine. But when it comes to this particular, I'm putting some on right now. When it comes to this particular area, she said that it would be a lot better. I would dry out a lot less. It would be a lot more helpful if I used one from a tub. And so I got this specific one that she recommended, and it has been helping so much. I still have hydrocortisone cream coming out the yin yin. I've got fucking eczema cream. I've got all the creams. But this is the one I just keep next to my bed. I put it on every night before I go to bed. I put it on in the mornings after I take a shower. I put it on just during the day if I'm starting to feel itchy. And it has been saving my ass. Plus, it is mild enough where I can use it around my access. I have to be very careful with whatever I use around my access. This one is probably the least concerning cream that I put on near my access. So, yeah, love you very much. This is not something I'd use on my face. It's a little too thick for that. And I could probably use it on the rest of my body, but I like to use the pump out of the shower just because it's a lot easier for me. So that's what I've been doing lately. But yeah, that Cetaphil cream, it's probably gonna last me 100 years because there is like, this is a fucking pound of cream, 16 ounces. Now I'm itchy because I've been talking about it. I also have a couple of like apparel items I wanna talk about. One, I'm not wearing now because it's actually really chilly today, hence the sweater, but I wore it all summer, and it was actually something I bought last summer and then never wore it and thought maybe I was gonna just have to donate it, that I made a bad mistake, and then this summer I rediscovered it. It's not actually available. It's a dress from World Market. It's like kind of a maxi dress with pockets and some embroidery, and it's black, and it's got like little straps, and I have worn the shit out of it. It is so comfortable. The material's kind of crinkly, but it's not like so it can look a little wrinkled and you wouldn't even notice. And it's got the pockets, and you could just wear it with some flip-flops, and it could work as a cover-up. As a matter of fact, I think I wore it as a cover-up at Waterworld. But I also have like put nice shoes on with it and done something nice with my hair with makeup, and we've gone out to dinner in it. A very versatile dress, great for the summertime. Very, very comfortable, very light. I've worn it while I'm dialyzing. Like, it is just an all-purpose maxi dress. It's just a little bit fancier, but it's still casual. Such a great dress. The other shoe item, I'll pop a picture up here. It is the New Balance sneakers that I just got recently, and I have been loving the shit out of them. They're the New Balance, let me look. New Balance Fresh Foam Arishi sneakers, and I got like kind of the light gray and white color. I needed some new sneakers because I have my walking pad, and when I go I love wearing my Hey Dudes. I love just wearing my regular old beaten up Nikes, but like that I've had for years, my workout shoes. But they, you wear them for often enough and they break down, they don't give you as much support. And I was finding that when I was wearing the Nikes on my walking pad that it was making my hips ache. So I figured I needed some more support from some shoes. And I got these, and they are just like light as fuck. Like you barely even know you're wearing shoes. Super comfortable. I've worn them like for entire days where I've been on my feet when we've like gone places, and they have worked really, really well for me, and they're cute. So I'll probably wear the shit out of these for the next couple years until these break down and I have to buy another pair. But I had never really gone for New Balance before because I always felt that the people I knew who wore them at Trader Joe's, they always had like these super bright colors, and like they were very like CrossFit-y kind of looking for these dudes that I used to work with, and I was like, those aren't the kind of shoes I'm gonna wear. And then I saw these ones at DSW, and I was like, and I did some research to see what kinds of shoes are great for walking, and especially on walking pads, and New Balance kept coming up. So I was like, let me give these a try, and I am kind of pissed I had not given them a chance previously. I have 2 kitchen items. One of them was on sale when I bought it, and I had a coupon as well, so I was able to get it for about half off, which is great because it's pricey. And the other one I bought way back at the beginning of this year, but I really started to use it this summer. The first is a teak cutting board from World Market. Now, I had told my family I wanted one of these for Mother's Day, but they didn't find one that I liked, so I told them I would buy myself one as a late Mother's Day present when I found one I liked at a price that I was okay with. Like a heavy, like super weighty cutting board. This one's about like 12 by 18, so it's not massive, but it is so sturdy. It has that divot in it to catch any juices, although I plan to put nothing meaty on this. This is going to definitely be just like a bread and vegetable cutting board for me, and fruits, so I guess it would catch fruit juices. It has handles. It is super thick. It's a thick boy, and it just feels very substantial. Substantial wooden cutting board. I have plastic, like, I use the OXO cutting boards. They have like a set of 3. I use those for almost everything else, but this one is not only really handy, but it's also a really beautiful statement piece to keep out. I'm just super excited about it. Now, it's not on sale anymore, but it is worth it if that's the kind of cutting board you're looking for, especially if you can manage to get a coupon, which I had a 20% off coupon, so I was like, fuck yeah, 20% off. The other thing is my, how do you pronounce it? Zojirushi rice cooker. It is a Japanese rice cooker. I actually bought it from H Mart, I think. They have a huge selection of them at my H Mart. It has all sorts of different ways to cook rice. It can cook sushi rice. It sings at you when it's done, like if you have one of those like newer appliances that sings, like take that and then times it times like 3. This thing sings at you forever when it's done. It also takes 85 years to cook the rice, maybe not that long, but it does take quite a bit of time to cook the rice, but it's worth it. It comes out perfect every single time. My old rice cooker bit the dust, and we eat a shit ton of rice and use the rice cooker both to make just like regular white rice. I like to make a chipotle cilantro lime dupe rice, etc. We love to eat rice with vanilla ice cream. Try it when the rice is hot. White rice, vanilla ice cream, do a little layer. Oh, so good. But we do a lot of rice, and our old rice cooker died. I know I can use my Instant Pot, but I have had bad luck using my Instant Pot for making rice. So getting a good rice cooker, and I told Jesse I am tired of buying the cheap rice cooker and then them biting the dust. It has happened to me multiple times over the years. I'm gonna buy a nice one, and let's see how long it lasts. I bought it at the beginning of the year, have been using the shit out of it this summer because we've done a lot of taco bowls. And yeah, I love it. It's worth it. Look into that line of rice cookers if you want to spend some money and get a really nice one. I have heard you can actually do entire meals in there depending on how you use it, but I have not delved into that. Stay tuned for that because my kids really want to do another like year-long trying new things eating challenge, and that might be part of it. And then finally, my 2 stationery favorites for this month are both things I've already had, but I have recently, like I talked about in my no-buy episode, been leaning super hard into the pen and highlighter and dot pen kind of planner spreads as opposed to stickers. And the 2 sets I have been using the shit out of are the neutral mild liner set and the soft smoky dot pens. They don't go perfectly together, but they go fairly well together. And I have just found myself using the shit out of both of those, multiple colors in both of those, over the past 3 months since I've reincorporated work into my planner. They're both the newer sets. I love them. I think in them, my current favorite colors, I love the beige, I love the olive, I love the copper, I love the dusty pink. I love them all. I love all the fucking colors, all of them. The only one I don't really love is the really, really pale one, in the mild liner set, cream, question mark? Because you can barely see it. But all of the other ones are beautiful, and they are just the vibe I'm in right now. The current vibe I'm in is those 2 sets, and I've just been using the shit out of them. If you took away all of my mild liners and all of my dot pens and said I could only have 1 set of each, those are the 2 sets I'd probably take right now. The neutral mild liners and the mild smoky. I've left them linked down below in case you haven't seen them yet. But I did do a review on both of them, I think, relatively recent, like in the last year. Check it out. Anyway, those are my favorite things from this quarter. Like I said, I think the only things I bought this quarter from that entire list, like I paid money for, because, I mean, I guess I paid money for the shows because I subscribed to the situations, but like, of all of the things I actually went out and purchased, it was the cutting board and the shoes. And I guess the deodorant and the cream, because the cream was a new recommendation, and the deodorant was just a replacement because I've been using that deodorant all year. So the cream, the shoes, and the cutting board are all of the things I bought in this last quarter. Everything else was stuff I already had, or TV shows and places we went and whatnot. So let me know in the comments below something you have been loving in the last 3 months. And in the meantime, make sure you subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, friends, peace.